What up, YouTube? It's your boy ATrueHero. And today we have with us the ultimate time wizard of Riley, the one that just took place. Top four Josh Reigns. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And not only Josh, but we have the infamous, and I say infamous because he is truly infamous, Bad Robot.
Yo, yo, yo.
Before we go any further, if you're interested in showing your boy a true hero some love, consider subscribing to my Patreon. There, you'll find exclusive videos and soon podcast episodes about my life and career. Yo, yo, yo. So, but this video is focusing on none other than Josh Reigns because he has achieved a level of success with Diva Hero that only few people have done. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so far as Ultimate Time Wizard events go, there's only been three people who have come in, well, I guess four people who have come in top 8 with the deck.
I want to say you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Three or
yeah,
four.
yeah, 3 to 4, like that's it, and you're one of the legendary few. So congratulations,
Hey,
congratulations. How did it
thank
feel
you, man.
piloting such an amazing deck?
Uh, Felt amazing. I love Diva Hero. I've been playing it since I got back into Edison about a year and a half ago. So it just flows like water.
I agree, right? Diva Hero, it's one of the best decks. It's so fun, and there's so many different lines that you can take throughout the deck. Like,
Yep,
there's a reason why many people haven't top with the deck because it's a really difficult deck to play. But
it
no
really
pun
is.
intended, it's so cool.
It is. It is, dude. It is. Like you said, there are so many like decision-making trees and lines you can go down. It's a really hard deck to play, but if you can play it correctly, it's amazing.
I want to ask about your deck list. Was there any
Mhm.
particular special choice that you decided to go with, or rather, did you just kind of just feel that standard was the best way to pilot the deck?
Uh, I I basically had the standard list, but I made a small mistake in my deck list and forgot to add Sangan, so I did not run Sangan in this event.
Wow.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is that we've been talking about Sangan recently, and we all, I don't know about True Hero, but me and the televisual think that card sucks because it's so damn slow and it just gets eaten up by Shura.
Yeah, so that was one of the thought processes too, why I didn't have it in there. I was testing it the night before, but I did want it in the main instead of the Snowman Eater and the Snowman Eater on the side, but I just completely yeah, no Sangan at all.
Yeah, decklist errors, they happen. My thoughts and opinions on Sangan is I think the card is absolutely necessary because even though it is like Shora Bora food, you're not going to be playing Black Wings all day unless you're a televisual who gets unlucky.
I know, right?
But like generally throughout the events, you're going to be playing a variety of different decks. Sangan himself, he's so useful because he's able to fetch either a hero or a water. You can search Diva, you can
Exactly.
search Prodigy, and in games 2 and 3, you can search your side deck cards. You can search False
My
Delina, you can search DD Crow. So
That's exactly what I was about to say.
right. I just think the card is too good not to play. And also he can pseudo play around cards like Mirror Force, Torrential. Like the card is too
Yep,
good. I think taking it
it
out
is.
just for one matchup, Black Wings, is a little bit kind of over the edge. But at the end of the day,
Mhm.
everybody has their own play styles and what works for them. So there's no right or wrong way to play Diva here. I've said this many times on the channel before. So you really kind of have to pilot it the way that you see it's best. And I think the best example of this is both Bad Robot and Televisual because their version of Diva Hero is a lot more different than the standard version, with Televisual being
Exactly.
known for the spy version and Bad Robot being known for the debris version. And still, they've all
So
achieved success with it. Go ahead,
So
Josh.
I was actually going to run a version of Televisual's Gravekeeper, Spy, Descendant deck, and that's why I didn't have Sangan in the 40 the night before, and it was just bricking really hard that night testing with my friends, and I decided to go with the original, just standard Diva Hero list, and for some reason, Sagan just slipped my mind, and yeah,
Yeah. But like, yeah, I'm looking at your list, and this is really a standard list. It's very similar to the list that I played for Nationals a while ago. The only difference is you're running double wing blast, right?
Hmm.
And how did double wing blast work out for you throughout the event?
Amazing. I love Wing Blast. I've even thought about going up to three. Like, that card is so good. Like, against Vayu Turbo, I mean, Amaryllis putting just their Amaryllis back on top of their deck. There's things of that nature. Like, it's just a very good card to me.
Right. I mean,
True Hero, tell them how you feel about that card.
yeah, Bad Robot already knew
Yeah,
what I was gonna
listen,
say.
I'm
Yeah,
on the wing.
I know how he feels about it. I watch his videos. I watch his videos.
Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise. Everyone who's been on this channel before, who's watched one of my videos, knows that I'm not a big fan of discard traps because of the nature of them. They're just generally like 2-for-1s. Wing Blast is like the one trap that is kind of like not necessarily a 2-for-1 because it sends a card back to the top of your opponent's deck.
Mhm.
However, in my more recent lists, I have been kind of messing with it a little bit because I do like the versatility that it gives, and I do like the fact that it outs the problems that the deck faces, which are False Dyna, Vanity's Fiend, Royal Oppression. It outs all those
Yep.
cards. It also, once
That
again,
actually is going to be a game.
yeah, exactly. It's a
Really bad
really
vanities, so
it's a really good all around card. I just prefer having the traps such as like Mind Crush, right? Like that's not a card that's commonly played in the main deck. I love main deck Mind Crush. I love main deck Devastation Virus. But
yep.
at the same time, that makes my deck more susceptible to cards like the aforementioned cards. So I mean, it comes
Mhm.
down to preference, and then this he's often referenced a lot for this. James Arc, right? When James Arc
Yeah.
topped, he
Yeah.
topped with Triple Wing Blast, right? So
Yep.
I mean, whether you play it at 1, 2, or 3 is completely up to the player. I think the best ratio is 1 to 2. I do think 3 is
Yeah.
overkill. And the reason why I think 1 to 2 is a good ratio because generally, if you play a card at 1, you don't see it. So you could play it at 2 so that you see 1, right? If you only play
Exactly.
the 1, then
Exactly.
like when you need it, it's going to be nowhere to be found, right? So I think 1 to 2 is a really good ratio. The card has stood the test of time. It's really good. I've also experimented in the past with Regeki Break because many people don't know this,
Same.
but I actually have tested out all the discard traps except for Karma Cut. That's the one that I didn't test
That's
out.
one I wanted to put in my side, but didn't have any copies of because I wanted to test it out as well, like in the event.
That's Bad Robot signature card right there.
Hey, I mean, it's good. Like, it'll get rid of all your problems, remove it from play.
Right. Yeah, it's really good. And the only difference between Karma Cut and Raigeki Blade / Wing Blast is that with Karma Cut, you can only target monsters, right? So
Right.
still, it serves an advantage because you can remove from play all copies that are in the graveyard as well. So that can be really good if like your opponent is goes special normal summon Bora, target like a Shora, but they also have a Shora on the field. Then like
Yep.
yeah, it really, really, really hurts them. Karma Cut get rid of the short on the field, and now their Blizzard doesn't resolve, right? I mean, it doesn't resolve successfully because the shore gets banished. So Karma Cut has a lot of versatility. It even works like these days, Dragon Turbo has been very, very popular. So
Dude, it was
if
everywhere.
yeah,
It was
oh yes,
everywhere.
I did want
That
to
dude.
ask about that, but Dragon Turbo has been seeing a rise in popularity, and a common card that's played in Dragon Turbo is Pot of Avrice. So if the card
Mhm.
that they're targeting in the graveyard also happens to be on the field, and you go Karma Cut, now their Pot of Avrice fizzles; it doesn't resolve. So Karma
Yep.
Cut has a lot of kind of really intricate uses if you know how to use the card correctly.
True. True. It really does.
Yeah. But getting into you and your matches, what would you say
Yep.
throughout the event was your most memorable match?
Uh, the guy that got second, I think his name's Adam. The
Yes,
guy that was
I know him,
the
the Amaryllis
Amaryllis.
guy.
Yes, the Amaryllis guy. Amaryllis is that deck is annoying. I hate it.
Yes. Actually, so I have quite the experience playing against Amaryllis. I've played against Adam, and Adam, he's a great duelist. He definitely is well deserving of his placement throughout the
Oh
event.
yes,
And so
yes.
is Nick Trudden. Shout out to him. For those of you who don't know, he's the Amaryllis King. He's the reason
Mhm.
why the deck has been introduced to the Edison meta. He got actually third place at the first Ultimate Time Wizard event last summer. So him and Adam, they constantly like work together on the deck and look for ways to improve the deck. So for those of you who might not know, who are kind of newer to the channel, so at the first event, I did manage to get second place at the first time wizard event, and to secure my second place spot, actually I had to go against Nick Trudden, who was piloting Amaryllis. and I definitely have it. I also have a video on my channel, how to beat Amaryllis, where I had a
Yeah.
rematch with Nick Trudden and he beat me. So once again, shout outs to him. So I do know like Diva Hero, it can be a difficult matchup because like there are instances where you want to make Stardust, but then Stardust loses to Titanium. There are
Yeah,
instances where
exactly.
you want to make Colossal Fighter, but then Colossal Fighter loses to Wing Blast. So it's like it's so
So
difficult to figure out what to do in the different
it's
situations against
either
the deck.
Thought Ruler, Colossus, Stardust. You never know which synchro to make. It's very hard. You've got to have a good read, to be honest, what their back
Yes.
row is.
I
But
agree 100% because Thought Ruler, as you mentioned, is really good because you can gain life points. And not that the Amaryllis deck is necessarily a burn deck, but it can put you in situations where you can't make a play or you can't destroy one of their monsters because that 800 will be game, right?
yep,
But the problem is, once again, even Thought Ruler loses to Titanium. So
exactly.
it's really, really difficult, as you mentioned, to figure out what synchro to make. And then even if they don't have Titanium, they have 2 to 3 brain controls, with
Mm.
Mark of the Rose and also triple hidden armory, right?
I was
So
about to say Hidden Armory. They've got their own Snatch Still, Mark of the Rose, like you said. Like it's just th- there's so many things you've got to play around.
yes. So how did that match go for you? What was the memorable point of the match?
So we played in Swiss, and we ended up that was my draw. I went X1 and 1 in Swiss. He was my draw. I won game one, game two. What happened game two? He just blew me out in game two. But then game three, we went into time. He had Amaryllis, a Titanial, and I forgot what else on board. And my only outlet, I had Lightning Vortex in hand with a Malicious and a Caius. And he had already burnt me for a
Quite a
couple hundred,
bit.
or did a couple hundred damage, and I was at 78. So I was like, damn, I really don't want to do this, but it's time. I've only got one phase, so I lightning vortex through malicious engrave, banished, got rid of his board, got burnt for 8, went down to 7, and then tributed for removed Mally, tributed for Caius to burn him for 1,000 by removing the Caius, and that was
Ah, that
and
was
we
smart.
and we drew that match, and yeah, that's what sticks out to me. And then in the top 8 match, I played him for first and second, and game three, our first game literally lasted 36 or 37 minutes
Sheesh.
because yes, it was a long back and forth battle. Like Thought Ruler was the right one to make at the time because it literally just kept. If it wasn't for Thought Ruler gaining me life, I would have lost 110% like game one. But yeah, that he's a good player. No,
Yes,
no doubt about
he's
that.
a very good player, a very good player. And for those of you who are unaware, so although of course we play Edison format, generally at these bigger events such as the Ultimate Time Wizard events, the round for time will be called at the end of phase,
Yep.
which means that Josh didn't have an opportunity to go into his battle phase, which is why he had to banish his own Caius and target itself for the burn damage. Because once the main phase is done, he's not allowed to go into battle phase. So the Edison rules and policies apply, such as the rulings at the time. However, for end of time rules, they apply with the modern rule set.
I hate that. I wish they would just leave Edison alone. Leave it back in 2010 or 11, whatever. Just leave it alone. Let it stay there.
Yes, no, I mean I
Don't
agree.
change anything about it.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, definitely things should be as they were, but I'm happy that
Mm,
at least the most important things, which are the rulings, remain the same. And
exactly.
I remember when I played the first day of the Ultimate Time Wizard event back last June, July. The
Mhm.
first day, day one, some of the rulings were absurd. They were giving like modern rulings. They were
I
giving
heard
like
I heard
rulings
about
on
that.
Sirocco, like when he gains with his effect, it increases it permanently. Like, it was
I,
just
yeah, I was
obnoxious.
hearing like Ab-Zero wasn't getting his effect if it was bounced back to the extra deck,
Yep.
even if it was face up and stuff, things of that nature. I heard a bunch of different things about
Yes.
the first time Wizard event. I was like, oh god, do I really want to start playing Edison again?
And right, this isn't like a rag on Konami, because I'm thankful that they have
Oh yeah,
partnered up with
100%.
Keegan and they've allowed us to experience this. And it's not only Edison, right? So for those of you
Yeah,
who are watching this video and you just enjoy retro formats in general, Konami has stated multiple times, especially for their pods that take places at these large scale events, you can play any format. It doesn't have to be Go Edison Tengu. It could be any
it could,
format. As long as you have at least 8 people for the pod, then they'll run that event for you. It'll be just like,
yep,
a single 8-man elimination tournament. However, if you can like start a community behind it and grow it, then like you can see other retro scenes develop as well. I'm all for
yep,
retro Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, my
same,
primary focus is going to be on Edison and Tengu format, because for those of you who are unaware, I'm actually
same.
running the Tengu War League. So if you're interested, please, there's going to be content uploaded about that in the near future, but continue to follow me through my Discord. But yes, I'm very much invested in Edison and GOAT format, and that's where my heart is. Like, this is like
Same
prime
here.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think it's largely to do because of my experience when I was a kid. Also, for those of you who are unaware, there were 4 Value Turbo decks
Yep.
in this top 8 of Riley, the Ultimate Time Wizard event. And
And my first,
I'll go
sorry, what were you
on.
about to
No,
say?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, my first match in top 8 was against Bayou Turbo.
See? So, I
Yep.
mean, Value Turbo was running rampant. I mean, some say that Edison
Mhm.
format is now officially a Value
And
Turbo format because of the success that it's been had. It has definitely won the most tournaments throughout the past, I'd say, year and a half. It is the #1 deck, and you have to be prepared for it if you're going to be playing in a competitive environment.
you have to be ready for it, but I don't think there really is a quote unquote best deck of the format. There's maybe like a top 3 to 4 best decks of the format,
I agree.
but I don't think Bayou Turbo is like tier 0 best deck.
Oh yeah,
That's what
no.
you have to
It's
go with.
definitely not I don't think Edison format is a tier 0 format at all, or else
Oh no.
everyone would be playing Value Turbo. I don't think Edison is a tier 0 format at all. I think the way you describe it is best. It's just like it's becoming more clear which one of these best decks might have a little bit of a slight edge. Like I might say
Yeah,
one
like
is S plus and the other ones are S's.
yeah, there you go. Something along those lines.
I'm happy to hear about your positive experience. I actually happen to ask, like, do you have anyone that you would like to shout out or kind of mention or thank for your success throughout the event?
Oh yeah, all my testing buddies at my locals Tune Gaming, I mean Matt, Zach, Brad, Jeff, like everybody, like I said, at my locals, my wife, my mother, and my 2 kids.
Well, with
That's it.
that, we're going to wrap this video up. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear too much from Bad Robot, but you know what? We're just happy that he
It is
was
what it
That's
here
is.
for
cool.
the
It's not
ride.
my time. This is Joshua's time, bro. I'm giving you all the time you want to talk. I have.
Aw,
I'll come in when I
thank
need
you.
to. This is all about you, bro.
It is, though. It is.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on the channel. I really appreciate it. And everyone watching, until next time, a true hero out. Peace. I
Peace.
hope everyone enjoyed the video. I would like to take this time to give a special shout out to my Patreons, Televisual, and Enraged Peacock. For those of you who are looking for exclusive content, please subscribe to my Patreon. The link will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, a true hero out. Peace.
Subscribe or you too will be sent to the Shadow Realm.